In this video, we're going to talk about reality transurfing, which is a part of law of attraction. No. Law of attraction may be called a part of reality transurfing, but not the other way around. This is exactly why when we try to apply the law of attraction, it can be quite inconsistent. At times, they work like magic, and then at the other times, total failure. The reason is that law of attraction is one of the many variables that shape reality. It is naive to think our multifaceted reality is governed by only one law. Somehow, law of attraction became the only focus within the manifestation community. Trying to manifest with just law of attraction is like describing the ocean with only sharks. If you decide to sail through the ocean, just learning about dealing with sharks won't guarantee a successful voyage, right? You need to learn about the wind, the ocean currents, waves, and so much more. So without further ado, let's start talking about reality transurfing. So what is reality transurfing? It is a theory created by a Russian quantum physicist named Vadim Zeland. He's a scientist, and I love the fact that he takes a very scientific approach in explaining how our consciousness impacts our external reality. What do I mean by taking a scientific approach? I mean that he came up with a theory that can explain manifestation experiences from almost all angles. Whether what he talks about is true or not is not relevant. What is relevant is that it works in the most predictable way. Until science can get us further to understand the non-physical forces of nature better, reality transurfing is the very best we got. This is how I'm going to teach you what I know. There are 10 variables. And we are going to discuss 5 of them today on this episode. 1. Multiverse concept, infinite variations. 2. Your thought energy. 3. Importance on the pendulums. 4. Intention. 5. Visualization. And just a reminder, maybe you should subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification for the future videos. Alright, so the first variable is the multiverse concept, or it's also called infinite variations. Before diving into this, let's set the stage. Reality transurfing is built on the idea that every possible scenario you can imagine, and even those you can't, already exist in an infinite space called the alternative space. These scenarios are not in the future. They exist simultaneously. You move between them by aligning your thoughts, emotions, and actions with a particular version of reality. You're not creating reality from scratch, you're choosing it. Now, let's go to the next variable. It's your thought energy. In the transurfing model, thoughts are not just brain chatter. They're energetic signals that resonate with certain life tracks in the alternative space. The more focused and consistent your thought energy, the more you lock onto a matching reality. So, high quality thought energy, such as clear intentions, positive focus, low resistance, tends to align you with more favorable tracks. Scattered or negative thought energy, dwelling on fear, resentment, or lack, aligns you with less desirable tracks. Think of this like tuning a radio. Your thoughts are the frequency. If you want a jazz station, but you're broadcasting heavy metal signals, you're never gonna hear the music you want, right? The next variable is importance, and it also has another component to it, which is called the pendulums. All right, this is probably one of the biggest things that's gonna hinder you, or it has hindered you from being able to manifest successfully every time, right? So what is it about? So its importance is one of the trickiest and most misunderstood concepts in transurfing. When you give something too much importance, you create excess potential, an imbalance that life then works to neutralize, often in unpleasant ways. For example, if you absolutely must get that job, your desperation creates a resistance and tension which can push the outcome away. Closely tied to this idea of pendulums, which are invisible structures made of collective thought energy, can be anything from political movements and fandoms to social media norms. These structures feed on emotional energy, positive or negative, and they can pull you off from your chosen track if you're not aware of them, right? Now, in simple words, basically, pendulums are certain energy structures, right? Like I told you before, reality transurfing is very scientific, which means we only care if this works or not. So whether these structures actually exist or not is not our biggest concern. But the point is, if we take this variable into our analysis, we will see that we can predict our manifestations better. All right. So for now, let's play around with this idea that there is sort of an energetic structure that is feeding off from your energy. All right. So what it does is, essentially, when you are trying to manifest something and you attach a lot of importance to it, you're exerting a lot of energy. This excess energy is not needed and it's not useful. All right, you're not really creating energy because you can't create energy, but you're still using a lot of energy, which you don't need. So this universe has a tendency of bringing things to balance, and many times the universe will balance you out by creating a situation for you where you're just not going to be able to want that anymore. All right, which doesn't look pretty most of the time. So why you attach so much importance is because these energetic structures called pendulums, they're really influencing you to do it. All right, because when you have those excess potential, then that excess energy is used by pendulums to survive. Okay, we will go more into that in our future videos, but pendulums are very important. All right, now the next variable, it's called intention. All right, now there are two types of intention, inner and outer. So intention and transurfing comes in two forms. In inner intention, the force of your personal will. This is about taking direct action to achieve something. The other one, outer intention, the alignment of circumstances outside of your direct control, where reality seems to help you without much effort. Okay? Most people rely on inner intention. They push, strive, and hustle. Outer intention, however, is about setting your goal clearly, letting go of how, and allowing the world to arrange itself to support you. All right? You will see later on that outer intention is the primary cause of magic. All right? Whatever miraculous things that happen, these synchronicities, all the great stuff, they happen through outer intention, not inner intention. Okay? But but the inner intention still has a part to play in it, and we will cover that in more. But bottom line is, inner intention is something where you feel like you need to impact from the inside on the outside world to make something happen. In contrast, outer intention is something where you have full trust. You just select a certain reality and everything comes to you. All right, it's much more effortless. All right, moving on. The next variable is visualization as the reality selector. In transurfing, visualization is not wishful daydreaming. It's a tuning process. You imagine yourself already living the desired reality. You don't just see it, you feel it, inhabit it. It creates a resonance between your current state and the life track where vision is true. All right? Now, visualization works best when you don't obsess over it. Do it lightly, like rehearsing a role, not like begging the universe, okay? So again, comes back to that whole thing about importance, all right? You need to do it. You might have done it so many times, like while you were working with law of attraction, but that was the most important reason at times. Like, that's why most people have experiences of getting the smaller things quickly, but they don't get what they really want because they had attached a lot of importance to it, right? All right, so these were the variables that I wanted to cover in the first part of this video, and we have done that. I'm just gonna do a quick recap, all right? So what we have covered today is thought energy, which is the frequency you broadcast to reality, importance and pendulums, avoiding excess potential and external control, intention, balancing inner drive with allowing outer circumstances to align, visualization, tuning into your chosen life track, and the alternate space where every reality exists at the same time. So one thing you might have realized is, like, it's a very common question. Do we select reality or do we create reality? You actually select them because everything exists right now, all right? One thing I'll leave you with to think about, all right, is that there's an argument, or let's do a thought experiment, which is going to explain to you why we do not ever create reality. It's already there. You just have to select it, all right, by using the principles of reality transurfing. And why I say that is because, let's say I ask you to imagine a color that you've never seen or a sound that you've never heard. See, you can't do it. If I ask you to think about nothing, maybe you're gonna think about darkness, which is still something. What that shows is, like, our brains are not capable of imagining anything new. We can only reconstruct things about what we already know. So if we can imagine something, it's already within the alternate space, waiting for you to manifest it, all right? All right, so for this video, this was all, and part 2 is gonna be up soon, all right? Make sure you watch that too, and then we will start doing the deep dives. Until then, I hope every manifestation of yours comes true. Keep your importance low. Have a good one.